Hi, I'm Zuro from St. Lucia Center, and this is my testimony about how God took me through a season of learning to truly trust Him in the middle of fear and uncertainty. I've been walking with God for a few years now, and one thing He's continually teaching me is that faith isn't believing when everything looks good, but choosing to trust Him when everything looks like it's falling apart. In my family, we've experienced a lot of loss over the years. Several of those deaths were a result of witchcraft and spiritual attacks against my family. And for a long time, it felt like my family had been spiritually attacked over and over again. That sense of fear and helplessness had settled deep in my heart, and I didn't even realize how much it had shaped the way I saw life and faith. Last year, I faced one of my biggest fears yet. When my mom became very ill, she was hospitalized and began to lose a lot of weight. Naturally, fear crept in. I remember thinking, what if my mom is next? As her condition continued, I noticed that she started to speak as if she had accepted the sickness, that she would say things like she was okay with being unwell, and eventually started to identify with her illness. That hurt to hear, and it scared me. I kept thinking, if she doesn't believe she can be healed, how can I? I tried to encourage her, reminding her of God's promises and telling her not to speak negatively over herself, but those conversations would almost lead to friction and arguments. I eventually shared this with my mentor, and she gently reminded me that the battle wasn't with my mom, it was spiritual. She pointed me to Ephesians 6:12, which says that our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the powers and the rulers of darkness. This shifted my focus. I realized the enemy was trying to use fear and hopelessness to discourage me from praying and believing for my mom's healing. One evening at an intercessory prayer night, I received a word of knowledge that strengthened me. After Pastor Liling prayed for me, she shared that she could sense I had been praying for some people in my life for a while now, and she encouraged me not to give up, but to remain faithful in prayer. That word reignited my faith, and I decided I wasn't going to stop standing in prayer for my mom. Although her healing didn't happen overnight, I started noticing small changes. Her attitude began to shift, and she became more positive about her health. She started to speak life over herself again, declaring that she would be strong. Over time, she has been healed and hasn't had any health complications in the last couple of months. Watching that transformation reminded me that God truly hears our prayers, and even when we don't see the immediate result. Through this season, I've learned that trusting God isn't passive, it's choosing to believe, pray, and stand firm even when circumstances try to silence your hope. Philippians 4:6-7 has become my anchor. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God.